Hello and welcome back to my Introduction to Furniture Painting course. My name is Haley Estes. I blog at themountainviewcottage.net where I share farmhouse-inspired DIY decor and organization videos. And we have been, over the course of the last several weeks, diving into all things furniture painting. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things, which is buying furniture online. Okay, we're going to be talking about Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and really some of the pitfalls to avoid when you're purchasing furniture online, some questions to ask your seller and yourself to ensure that you are getting a quality piece of furniture that's not a hunk of junk that you don't even want to paint once you bring it home. So I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks to making sure that you get a quality piece of furniture from an online marketplace. Numero uno. My first holy grail question that I ask every single seller, even if it is written on the listing, is the furniture solid wood? I cannot tell you how many times I have found pieces in my local thrift shops or even made the effort to go drive and pick up a piece of furniture that was like resin or plastic or particle board. All the things that I hate when it comes to painting furniture. It is really difficult to work with a piece of furniture that is made of particle board. If there are imperfections, which let's be honest, it's secondhand furniture, there's probably going to be. You can't just sand or buff them away. They are there to stay. So I love solid wood pieces of furniture because you can buff away the imperfections such as the scratches and the dings on the surface or the drawers. And it's usually a much better quality piece of furniture. It's more sturdy and solid built and worth the time and effort that it takes to paint that thing. So make sure that it is solid wood and do not accept anything that is not solid wood. You are better than that. Question number 2. This got me into trouble with my very first Craigslist find, which is the question you should ask your seller: are there any imperfections? I didn't ask my seller this and just assumed that the set of furniture I was going to pick up was in perfect condition. Little did I know that when I showed up that the middle drawer of this large dresser was completely broken. There was no drawer on it. It was just the front piece of the drawer. So it was sitting sneakily inside the dresser and looked like it was intact, but it wasn't. Now, don't get me wrong, imperfections are not a reason to completely walk away from a piece of furniture. A lot of those things can be fixed with a little wood glue, some sanding, and replacing the hardware. But there are some things that you just can't fix, and they're not worth the time. And you just need to make sure that you're asking yourself, is this within my skill set to fix and make better? If not, you need to walk away. Tip number 3. This is also something that I failed to ask the sellers when I bought my first piece of furniture. Is the furniture from a smoke-free, pet-free home? Now, pet-free is important if you have allergies and you can't be around allergens like pet dander. So for me, that's not an issue. But smoke-free is an issue because it is really hard to get that smell out of your furniture. So you want to make sure, if that is a deal breaker for you, that you're asking the seller that question. The first set of furniture that I purchased was from a smoking home, which is totally fine, but I thought I'd be able to get the smell out of the furniture, so I figured it would be no big deal. I tried every method known to man to get that smell out, and it did not leave. We had that piece of furniture for 3 years, and eventually I had to take everything that I was storing out of it because it was making my kids' toys smell, because that's what I was storing in there, and it was driving me crazy. And so it became an empty shell of a piece of furniture that we just had our TV on, and it wasn't providing the storage that I had intended it for when I purchased it. So make sure that those items are checked off your list before you go pick up a piece of furniture. Question number 4 that I like to ask my sellers and myself, which is, what are the dimensions of the furniture? This is so important for a myriad of reasons. A, will it fit in the space in your home that you intend it for? And B, can you haul it home in your vehicle, or are you going to have to borrow or rent a truck in order to get it home? I luckily have always been able to finagle it and be able to get all the pieces of furniture home in either my van or in my in-laws trailer, which I am very lucky to have on hand, but not everyone that has a truck or a trailer at their disposal. So you need to make sure that you're asking the seller the dimensions so that you can fit it in your space and you can also fit it in your vehicle to get it home. Because nothing is worse than driving all the way to pick up a piece of furniture and it not fitting in your car. Which brings me to my next tip, which is tip number 5. Where are you located? This one is really difficult where I live because I live in a small suburb of a large city. So there are a lot of surrounding areas, meaning I could easily drive an hour to 2 hours one way to pick up a piece of furniture. So I always make sure that I am aware of where my sellers live before I go to pick it up. This is also something that drives me crazy as a seller of furniture. I have sold several pieces in my home, and I always make sure and put my location and the general area of it on my listing so that the person knows before they ask me any questions where I'm at. I'm kind of far away from a lot of people, so I want to make sure people know that before they are interested in the piece of furniture, because location will deter a ton of people. And I always get, oh my gosh, you're an hour away from me. Oh my gosh, you're so far. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I put it on the listing. You should have already known that. So make sure that you're aware of where your seller is located before you go pick up a piece of furniture. Which brings me to tip number 6, which is a really fun one, which is haggle. Do not ever accept that the price listed online is the final price. I always ask for a lower price. It depends on what the piece of furniture is listed at. I kind of have a feel for what the general prices of things go for in my area. I usually ask $25 to $50 below asking price as a general rule. If it's really overlisted for a really high price, I may ask for a couple $100 lower. It just depends. Some sellers are stubborn and they're willing to get every penny for their piece of furniture. Others just want to get rid of it. They want it out of their house. I'm one of those sellers, and so I will haggle with people and I will give them a lower price. A lot of the times I will list it at a little bit of a higher price, knowing the price in my head that I want to get it for, so that I have some room to haggle and make my buyers feel like they're getting a good deal. But I can assure you that if I'm doing that, I'm sure other sellers online are doing the same thing. So don't take the final listing price as your final offer. Make sure you haggle. This one makes me a little sad to talk about because I sold a couple sets of furniture that were absolutely amazing. But this tip is, don't judge a book by its cover. I have gotten my absolute favorite sets of furniture online that had the crummiest pictures ever, like pictures that were blurry and you couldn't even really see what it was, but I could just kind of tell that it was a good set of furniture. This is probably not the way you want to purchase your first set of furniture from Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, but after you've had a little more experience, don't be afraid to go for those ugly listing pictures, because there are some real diamonds in the rough in those pictures. I got a set of furniture that had a dresser, 2 nightstands, and a mirror that was absolutely amazing. This is why it makes me sad to talk about this, because I sold all of them. But it was an absolutely amazing set of furniture. It had one measly cell phone picture, and you couldn't hardly even see any of the furniture in the picture. But I went for it because I just had a feeling, and by golly, was it an amazing set of furniture. So do not judge a book by its cover and go for some of those crummy listing pictures. Those are usually also listed way cheaper than some of the other ones. I got that entire set of amazing furniture for $150, and it was worth so much more than that. And I would have paid more than that. But every now and then, some of those amazing little deals will pop up and you just have to go for it. That concludes my 8 main tips for buying furniture online. If you stick to those guidelines, you are gonna have a much better buying experience. But I also have a few more tips that I wanna sneak in here at the end, which are: make sure that you're a good buyer. Negotiate a time and a place to pick up furniture. If you can negotiate a place to pick up furniture, that is the safest way to do it. But if it's a lot of furniture and it's going to be a hassle for 2 people to meet in one location, make sure that you have set up a specific time and then you follow through. Nothing is more frustrating as a seller than buyers who just don't show up. But it happens all the time. One of the things I like to do when I'm personally looking for furniture is shop on Friday evenings or Friday, because then I know I have all day Saturday to go pick up a piece of furniture. You will miss out on furniture if you're not able to pick it up quickly. My second tip is to make sure that you bring extra blankets and straps and bungee cords with you when you go to pick up furniture. This will help secure it in your vehicle or in your truck or trailer on the transport home. The final tip I have, tip number 8, for buying furniture online is the buddy system. Always bring somebody with you to go pick up your furniture. Never assume that whoever your seller is going to be able to help load your furniture in your car. I, as a seller, have often been pregnant and unable to help people haul things down my stairs. So I make sure that the buyers are aware of that before they come pick it up. And I also make sure that I am well equipped with a sturdy man, my husband, when I go pick up furniture so that I have help getting it in my vehicle, because almost always it's a two-man job and you just can't rely on your seller to be able to help you. It's also for safety reasons. And my last bonus piece of advice is to not be afraid to just walk away. If you show up and the seller lied to you or wasn't sure or it just wasn't what you were hoping for, don't be afraid to just walk away. I hope you guys enjoyed my tips for shopping for furniture online. I hope these tips help you buy amazing pieces of furniture. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more on this series on painting furniture and making over secondhand finds. Thank you again.